Offerly?
Here.
Barton?
Here.
Betteridge?
Here.
Jones?
Here.
Shook?
Here.
Spar? Here. Warren?
Here.
Thank you.
We had a chance to look at the minutes from May. There's no amendments. Do I hear a motion for approval?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes as stated.
Second.
Spar? Abstain. Shook?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Betteridge?
Yes.
Warren?
Yes.
Barton?
Yes.
And Offerly?
Yes.
Thank you.
Before we start, Council's going to give us just a short little presentation of what the zoning board's about.
Thank you. Public hearing is being held tonight pursuant to published notice. Any person wishing to address the zoning board will be sworn in by our court reporter and will give their testimony under oath or affirmation. At the conclusion of the public hearing, the Zoning Board of Appeals will make its determination. 4 yes votes are required to obtain the approval of the zoning board. For a variation, the zoning board's task is to determine whether an applicant meets certain legal requirements. The variation procedure is not intended to evaluate whether a proposed variance is a good idea. The Zoning Board of Appeals cannot grant a variance unless it finds the evidence presented before it proves each of the required criteria contained in the village code and Illinois law. The board considers, among other factors, the effect of the proposed variance on the public good and on neighboring properties. Unless the zoning board finds that all the required criteria is met, the zoning board cannot by law grant the applicant a variance.
Okay. First case tonight, number 14-09. The Morton Unit School District 709 is requesting a variance for a sign at 350 North Illinois Avenue, zoned R1. The variance is being sought to allow an automated language sign in a residential district. Good. Yeah, will you like just stand up and Arlene can swear you in? You can just step up to the podium then.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you. Step up and also.
I need your name and address, please. We can start.
My name is Marjorie Johnson. I live at 128 Heatherview Drive in East Peoria. I'm here about the property at 350 North Illinois, which is Morton High School. We are requesting a variance for an electronic sign to be placed in the same masonry, at the same setback, and of the same size as the existing static message board that is currently badged with Bertha Frank Performing Arts Center and Morton High School. The purpose behind this sign would be to increase communication between the school and the community. One of the things that came out of our 709 Connect meetings 2 years ago was that the community would like to see a higher level of communication, and this is one way that we would intend to augment that communication.
I think that'd be a nice addition.
Yeah.
I don't have any qualms about it. Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to speak to this case?
Where is the sign exactly?
The sign's going to be in the original spot it is right now.
Where the Bertha Frank sign is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
One of my concerns about the electronic signs is that the government has recently outlawed cell phones, text messages, and everything else so the driver is not distracted. Mm-hmm. Great improvements have been made with electronic signs with visual as well as wording, and it can be changed just at a minute's notice. Mm-hmm. So thus, when traffic is flowing in a high pedestrian area, that means the driver is taking his eyes off to see what you have on your sign, mm-hmm. both at the junior high and at the high school. Mm-hmm. I think at least I would want to have a reconsideration of that request for electronic sign. We have several electronic signs on West Jefferson, but they're in a business area, and No one complains about it. I'm just concerned about the foot traffic in your area with an electronic sign being so visible.
I understand that concern, definitely, and we don't want to put anyone in harm's way either. One of the things that we can do is modulate how quickly the messages would change, so that as a single driver would be in the area, it would be a single message, very similar to what it is now, but on multiple passes, the same driver would get possibly different messages. So it wouldn't be something designed to take a driver's eyes off the road more than just a couple of seconds like it does currently in its static state. But I do understand that
Thank you.
concern.
Is it on 24 hours a day?
No, in fact, the current sign is not on 24 hours a day. I believe it goes off at 11 p.m. and comes back on at 6 a.m. maybe. I'm not positive the time it comes on, but it's well into the morning before it comes back on.
Okay.
So.
Well, it could potentially be programmed so that during the highest traffic, the highest foot traffic, like right after school and right before school, maybe it wouldn't be wouldn't be running at that time.
That's certainly a
I mean,
possibility.
that could be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
If the sign doesn't change, is it actually going to distract you if it's, if it's staying at a,
Static.
if it's not flashing car wash, every 2 seconds, is it going to, would that be all right? Or Mary, as far as how they're going to
See,
delay the
I don't-
changing?
I don't know that it would distract me personally, but I could see where it could be distracting to some drivers.
I don't know how hard that is. Bill, is that? with the
Well, I
sign?
think the programming of these types of signs is pretty flexible, so I think we can, at different times of the day, it's my understanding, you can set them to do different types of things, so.
Right, that's what I mean. So I
Right,
think
at
that
those
would
times
be-
of day, we could just have one thing on there and it doesn't change for 15 minutes maybe, during those.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, do you have a time limit, Mary, that you want?
I guess just in response to Mr. Betteridge, his comments, just that possibly during the beginning of school and the end of school. I think it should be a consideration. I don't know that it should be required. Or what does everybody else think?
I don't know if it's a slow change, I don't know if it'll, if they keep it at,
Keep it at
like Bertha Franks, and, 2 minutes later changes over to whatever the activity is, basketball game or something. I don't know if that would be all that bad.
There's 2 large signs at North Morton and Jackson that is all red lettering, and it's probably one of the hardest signs to read since they changed it over to digital, because it's so bright and they fill up all the lines most of the time. Instead of just a couple of words or something of this nature, generally every line is filled, and you're turning a corner or going straight through on North Morton Avenue. That's a high traffic area there. And I think those are the things that I'd like to see the school district take in consideration. Foot traffic, the times that you're running and changing a sign, and the amount of lettering or visual indicators, because you can do a lot with electronic signs.
And the proposals that we are looking at, should we be granted the variance, would be monocolored. You can get them multicolored, millions of colors. We're not looking for something that's that potentially distracting, and we would limit the wording very similar to what the wording is now on the current sign that we have, where it's just very small chunks of information.
Well, it sounds like they're willing to.
Yeah, personally, I just wouldn't want to put any stipulations as a board member into what they can and can't do. I think it's duly noted our concerns, and I think that they would be responsible in their efforts to make it as safe as possible. But I definitely do see the concerns, but I just wouldn't want to stipulate what you could or couldn't do. The change, I would leave that up to the school. I would not want to put that into a motion.
With that, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we grant case number 1409 under 1010-2C as stated.
I'll second it.
Fedorich,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Shook,
Yes.
Spar,
Yes.
Warren,
Yes.
Opperly,
Yes.
and Barton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, our next case, number 14-10, Morton Unit School District 79 is requesting a variance for a sign at 225 East Jackson, zoned R1. A variance being sought to allow an automated language sign in a residential district. Same sign, different school.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Lee Hoffman, 522 Ohio Court, and obviously I'm here for the junior high. Same thing that Marjorie said. I do have just a picture, kind of a mock-up, but it would hopefully be a classy look. I think in some ways a classier look, because you don't have the white on the black. It's going to blend in a little bit better. But we're obviously just seeking to improve our communication. This last winter, when we had a foot of snow on the ground for a long time, it was hard to get out there and change it. Where this can all be done, like Bill said, internally through a computer system, and it's relatively quick, and we can kind of do what we want to do with it. So, same deal as the high school. It'll be in the current sign. They'll just replace our current white area with an electronic sign.
Okay. Now the grade schools can get theirs.
Yeah.
With that, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we grant case number 14-10 under 1010-2C as stated.
I'll second.
Before we call that, you want to make sure no one from the public wants to.
Oh, did anybody wish to speak to this one? All right. Thank you.
Jones,
Yes.
Shook,
Yes.
Spar,
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
Opperly,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Fedorich.
Yes.
Thank you.
Get those signs installed tomorrow now. Be good. Okay. The last case, number 14-11, Jerry Metz is requesting a variance for an accessory building at 2361 North Morton Avenue, zoned R1. Maximum allowed height for accessory building is 13 feet. Requested variance of 5 feet will allow a height of 18 feet. Maximum allowable area for the structure is 480 square feet. Requested variance is 720 square feet. Allow a building of 1,200 square feet. Jerry, want to step up and Arlene can swear you in?
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
I'm Jerry Metz, for those of you that don't know me. And as Mike mentioned, I'm requesting a variance for an accessory building at my home on 2361 North Morton Avenue. I put together a little outline. I've got copies for you. Pretty simple and straightforward, I think. Just to show you what I'm... Apologize, I didn't.
All right. Just don't let it happen again.
This pretty much tells the whole story as far as I'm concerned. This will provide some benefit to the village in that the improvement will provide additional tax revenue for my property, and it will also improve the appearance of the property. And the reason for that is it's going to give me some much-needed storage space for some of the equipment that I've got, also a classic car, an enclosed 12-foot trailer. That's really the reason I need the extended height, because I need a 10-foot door to get the trailer in. The property I live at, I don't know how many of you are familiar with it. Bill and had came out and looked at it. It's kind of a unique situation in that I've got a little over 4 acres, and it's all timber out on North Morton Avenue between Osamis Lake and Hyde Park subdivisions. I need a lot of equipment to maintain my yard and my wife's flower gardens. When I start listing those things, I come up with 19 or 20 different items, such as leaf vacs. I have a tractor with a bucket to haul wood around. I get a lot of tree service that I do myself. I do all the maintenance myself, basically. My wife has a gator that she uses just about every day to tend to her flower gardens. So there's a lot of equipment, and currently some of it's scattered around different places. My car is taking place in my garage for where my wife's vehicle should go. I've got a little 2-wheel trailer that's currently sitting outside. My enclosed trailer is on a different property now. I don't even have a place for it at home. So there's good reasons that I need all this room. And the building itself, I think, as shown on the packets that you were given, will sit over 300 feet back from the roadway. My property extends back considerably farther than that. And that's all timbered area that it's going to sit on also. I have contacted our 3 closest neighbors on either side of me and across the street. They've all approved of this. Matter of fact, my neighbor across the street, Gary Anna, has come to support this. I know of at least 3 neighbors that have similar sized storage buildings on their property that also have acreage. And another thing that came to my attention was I've been there since 1982. Actually bought the property in 81, and then I bought the lot to the north and to the back a few years later. And I have removed 5 accessory structures from that property. These were smaller, a storage building. I probably had the last 2 outhouses in Morton on the 2 pieces of property. There was a wishing well there. So, and there was another little gazebo type building behind my house. So that's basically what I'm asking for. And this would be a 30 by 40 foot building that will allow me storage and I do my own maintenance on my equipment usually. It'll give me some much needed room for all of that.
I think it'll look nice. It'll get lost in that big piece of property. That'll look good.
Yeah, it's not going to be very visible
No.
from the road anyhow, and I did opt to put a brick wainscoting on the front, so it will match up to the brick that's on the front of my house, the porch on my house. I want to make it all look appealing.
Yeah.
It'll be nice.
Does anybody in the audience wish to comment to this case, or did he pretty much clear that up, saying you agreed? You'd like to?
I do.
Okay. Well, I don't have any
other
further
questions?
questions than anybody.
You presently have 2 units, 2 buildings on your property, and the present zoning only allows 2. This would be 3 unless you removed one of the units. Do you plan to remove that temporary storage that you showed me?
Yes, that temporary unit will be removed, yeah.
So
This-
the request for additional unit would not take place then?
Well, actually, there's a little confusion in my mind about this, and I thought that I had discussed this with Roger Spangler, but after the fact, or after I sent in my petition, I'm really not sure. There is a smaller storage shed behind my house, which has been there for years. There's a gazebo that is largely behind my house. That temporary portable building is the one that it would be the third one that is there, not two. And that's the one that I'm going to remove and replace. I think I mentioned that in the packet here. Under other, I did not X that, but I didn't realize at the time that that a portable building or temporary building fell under that
Accessory, as an accessory building?
number of accessory buildings, yeah.
Do you currently store that, the trailer that requires the larger door, do you currently store that outdoors now?
I do. I could cut that down by about a foot. Actually, the contractor said that building will not be 18 feet, it'll be over 17 though. So he told me to call it 18. I could go with a 9-foot door rather than 10, if that would help. My trailer is.
I don't think, you got a problem with height, Bill?
No, I don't, I was curious about the hardship of where that trailer is being currently stored and if it was alleviating.
It's
some of
currently
that,
being
so.
stored up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, 17 is no different than 18.
And, but I do want to bring it home, at least part of the year.
Now, will you see this from the road? I assume you can see it fairly well. Is there going to be a road to it, or how are you going to do this?
There will not be a road to it. That lot is 200 feet wide by over 300 feet deep. And there is an open space in front that gives me access to it, but I do not intend to put a road to it. It's off to the side of my current driveway and actually behind it.
But you will see it from the road then, Morton Avenue, right?
It'll be visible, but you're going to have to take a pretty close look.
Okay.
I do have bushes and several mature oak trees going back to that 300 feet before you ever would see it.
So there's going to be trees and stuff in front of it, you're saying?
Yes. Again, in your packet, this shows the timbered lot that it's on.
Right.
And it's the largest building
Right, I see
outlined there in white, so it sits back considerably, quite a ways through those trees.
Right. Because normally, unless a structure is behind a house, we require screening on that. I don't know about this case.
I think he's got enough oak trees personally in front of that. I mean, that's a lot of depth.
Yeah. Okay, that was my concern, that
I think it'd be all right.
visible from the street.
How do you plan to move the trailer into this building since your drive is fairly narrow? You're backing it in off of?
I will back it in, yes. And I will not back it down my drive. There's actually the portion of the lot to the north where this building will go has an old driveway coming off. I mean, the driveway is not there. The depression from the driveway is still there, and that's what I use to get back through there. I can weave my way back through the trees and then back it in.
I know you got a circle driveway out in front,
Yes,
but this building would be located in the rear towards the back to your property line.
yes. Well, it's not close to the back of the property line. My property line goes
Down the gully.
clear down the gully and across the creek, actually.
Right.
Yeah, so it goes on quite a ways back.
I don't have any questions.
Anyone else have any questions? With that, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we grant case number 14-11 under 1010-2C, as stated.
I'll second it.
Shook,
Yes.
Barr,
Yes.
Morton,
Yes.
Aukerly,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Betteridge,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Hope you enjoy it. Guess we'll skip Roger since he didn't show up. Steve, you have any comments?
I have nothing for you tonight, gentlemen.
All right.
I have one thing that I'd like to bring up. There was a sign on Morton Avenue at the truck center that was painted on one side at one time, and that paint's worn off. I don't know if we
On
need
the
to.
Kenmore sign?
Yes. I don't know if we need someone to say something again or not, because it was a stipulation to be painted on that one side so it wouldn't glare towards the neighborhoods.
I think it was-
Spangler would be.
Yeah, we'll have Rod.
Yeah, and I will, he's on vacation,
Yeah.
but I will make sure that the message is transmitted, and you should feel free to follow up if you want with him, but he
Okay.
would, excuse me, if that's part of the agreement, then he would be the enforcing authority.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
With that, do I hear a motion for adjournment?
I so move.
Second?
Thank you. Spar,
Yes.
Warren,
Yes.
Aukerly,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Betteridge,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
And Shook.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.